Hello and welcome to our nightly news. These are the headlines. The first group of the Algerian pilgrims arrived this Sunday in Medina. All the necessary means were mobilized to ensure our pilgrims accomplish their religious duties in the best possible conditions. And in its latest editorial, Jaish magazine underscores the role of the national memory as a pillar in building a strong and victorious Algeria. Algeria demands the immediate expulsion of all French personnel appointed in violation of established procedures, urging their return to their country of origin. Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's news. The first group of Algerian pilgrims has arrived in Medina, where they were received by the Algerian Hajj delegation, marking a well-coordinated start to this year's pilgrimage operations.
This morning, the first group of 250 Algerian pilgrims landed in Medina on an Air Algérie flight from Algiers, marking the official start of the 2025 Hajj season. The pilgrims were accommodated efficiently and with great care, ensuring a smooth and well-organized process, and the authorities have made every effort to provide the best possible conditions for performing the Hajj. Additional flights will depart soon from 12 airports across various provinces of the country.
We arrived safe and sound. We wish all the goodness to our President Abdelmajid Tebboune. We are very happy. We arrived safely to Medina, where we were given a warm welcome. May God accept our pilgrimage. May Allah accept our pilgrimage and helps us return to our country safely.
The Algerian delegation is composed not only of guides but also includes doctors, imams and civil protection personnel.
The Algerian state has spared no effort to mobilize all the means necessary to enable Algerian pilgrims to perform the Hajj in the best possible conditions, while providing them with transport and accommodation, in addition to the various organizational aspects linked to this operation. In accordance with the instruction of the country's highest authorities, the efforts deployed by the Ministry of Religious Affairs and the National Hajj Office have enabled the Hajj quota allocated to Algerians to be increased each season and have also ensured the success of this season.
The pilgrims expressed deep joy at finally arriving at the Medina to perform the Hajj this year, a long-awaited dream for many of them. They also commended the excellent organization, highlighting the efficient transport services and the dedicated support provided by the Algerian delegation.
Our national memory pillar of the construction of victorious Algeria is the title of the latest issue of Jaish magazine, a powerful editorial that highlights the importance of preserving collective memory. It also tackled the recent anniversary of the massacres of May 8th, a date from which all Algerians should draw inspiration. Ryan reports.
In its editorial entitled Our National Memory, the Foundation for Building Victorious Algeria, Jaish magazine reflects on the National Day of Remembrance declared in 2020 by the President of the Republic to honor May 8, 1945. Marking a tragic event in Algeria's history, the magazine describes it as a crime against humanity aimed at silencing calls for freedom and reminds readers that it remains a shameful mark on colonial France. This event, according to the editorial, was the spark that awakened Algerian national consciousness, eventually leading to the Revolution of November 1st, 1954. It highlights the Algerian people's strong will to fight and break free from colonial rules, teaching the occupier powerful lessons. The anniversary is seen as a moment to renew the commitment to the martyrs' legacy and to continue building a strong, independent Algeria that moves forward with confidence and progress. Jaish magazine also notes that the country's current achievements result from the hard work of all who put the nation's interest first. The editorial calls for unity and collective effort to continue developing a sovereign and respected Algeria. as emphasized by the President in his message for the 80th anniversary of the massacres. The magazine stresses that Algeria will never forget its past and calls on both the people and the army to protect the national unity from the growing threat of disinformation and propaganda that aims to destabilize the country. It refers to General Said Chengri's recent speech where he warned that false information is being used as a weapon to reach hidden political goals. He called on Algerians to stay alert, patriotic and united. The editorial concludes by reaffirming that Algeria's youth remain faithful to the path of their forebears, committed to protecting freedom and national pride. The National People's Army, Higher of Liberation Army, continues to grow stronger while staying loyal to the values of November Revolution and Algeria's core principles.
The Algerian authorities have called for the immediate expulsion of all French employees appointed without following proper procedures, rather than that swift return to France. This demand was formally conveyed to the Chargé d'Affaires at the Embassy of France in Algeria, which they explains.
The Algerian authorities have summoned the interim head of the French embassy in Algiers to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, demanding the immediate repatriation of French personnel appointed without proper accreditation. This move follows serious and repeated violations by the French side, which failed to comply with the established diplomatic procedures. At least 15 individuals began consular or diplomatic juries in Algeria without prior notification or official approval, in a clear breach of international conventions. Many of these individuals initially entered Algeria using mission passports, but were later issued diplomatic passports to facilitate their presence, further circumventing required protocols. Among them were 2 officials from the French Ministry of Interior who were reportedly tasked with assignments linked to individuals recently declared unwanted by the Algerian authorities. These actions have intensified existing tensions between the two countries. The dispute comes amid broader diplomatic friction, including France's repeated denial of entry to Algerian diplomatic passport holders and delays in accrediting Algerian consuls assigned to Paris and Marseille. 7 other Algerian consuls have also been awaiting accreditation for over 5 months. In light of these developments, Algeria has called for the immediate and unconditional return of all the French personnel involved in these violations.
Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Committee on Board and African Affairs Ahmed Attaf received a phone call Sunday from the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mohammed Ishaq Dar. On this occasion, the Pakistani minister briefed his Algerian counterpart on the latest developments in the Indian subcontinent, in particular regarding the ceasefire agreement between Pakistan and India, which aims to de-escalate tensions and prevent any escalation that could threaten the security and stability of both countries and the region. For his part, Minister Attaf expressed Algeria's welcome for the agreement, praising the mediation efforts that led to its achievement by prioritizing diplomacy and dialogue over tension and conflict. The Minister of State, Ahmed Attaf, also expressed Algeria's hope that this step will be strengthened in the coming days with the goal of fostering a lasting, just and final peace between the two neighboring countries in a way that serves the interest of their peoples and promotes security and stability across the entire region. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, National Committee of Board and African Affairs Ahmed Attaf also had a phone call with Venezuela's Minister of International Relations, Evangel Pinto. The two sides discussed the strong political and economic ties between Algeria and Venezuela and welcomed the momentum in bilateral relations, reflecting the shared vision of both countries' leaders. The call also served as an opportunity to exchange views on preparations for the upcoming commission set to take place this summer in Algiers. And the President of the Constitutional Court, Omar Belhaj, received a delegation from Zimbabwe's Constitutional Court, led by Chief of Justice and President of the Constitutional and Supreme Courts, Luke Malaba. The Zimbabwean delegation is on a working visit to Algeria until the 13th of May, and discussions focused on enhancing cooperation and consultation between the two constitutional institutions, in particular in the field of constitutional justice. In Mali now, people are standing up against the group of leaders who took the power by force. These leaders are trying to suppress freedom and silence voices that speak out, but the people in the streets are asking for a quick return to democracy and the release of political prisoners. When explains the situation there.
Mali is at a very critical moment, say observers. People inside the country are pushing for the end of the temporary military rule and want democracy to return. But many are worried that the country is becoming more like a dictatorship where freedoms are taken away. The military leaders in power have started arresting political party leaders. This has made many people, both politicians and regular citizens, very angry.
We are doing the right thing by protesting. It's sad that some people are stopping us from speaking out. This is just too much. We must wake up. Malians are strong and react in unexpected ways.
Experts working for the United Nations say it's impossible to have real political talks now because of fear, arrests, and limits on freedom.
We are at a point where everyone, citizens and diplomats, must work together.
Today, people in Mali live in fear. Many feel they are not allowed to speak freely. International organizations are worried. They say people's rights are being taken away. They are calling for quick democratic changes and presidential elections to help solve the crisis and bring unity back to the country.
And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.